large caps अगर हम देखेंगे, these are, as we have said, they are the largest companies in the stock market. They tend to be very well established businesses, बहुत पुराने companies होते हैं, and generally they are little bit more stable and less volatile, right? लार्ज कैप सेगमेंट में अगर हम देखेंगे तो सेक्टर्स लाइक बैंक्स, आईटी, ऑटो, these have lot of weight within large caps. Okay, after large caps comes the mid caps. Now mid caps are इनमें जनरली वो large caps से ज्यादा growth potential होता है, right? And they are also, because वो थोड़ा छोटे होते हैं large cap से, they are a little bit more volatile than large caps, right? So these are companies with more growth potential, more volatility. एंड अगर हम इंडेक्स को देखेंगे तो मिड कैप इंडेक्स में जनरली इंडस्ट्रियल्स, एनबीएफसीज, ऑटो एंसिलरीज, ऐसे टाइप के कंपनीज को का एक्सपोजर मिलता है, राइट? लास्ट कैटेगरी इज स्मॉल कैप. So compared to large and mid, small caps are by definition even smaller, and you can say that many of them have the highest growth potential because they are still small companies, and also but because they are small, उनकी volatility भी काफी ज्यादा होती है, right? So in इस segment में you're getting again good growth potential but higher volatility. And also अगर आप index को देखेंगे तो some sectors like chemicals, media, entertainment, hotels, these have more exposure in small cap than large and mid. So the point of this slide is कि each of these segments, large, mid, small, have a very unique flavor to them. In large caps you get exposure to certain kinds of segments which are generally well established. Mid small में आपको ऐसे companies मिलते हैं which generally have good growth potential, and you are getting exposure to certain sectors जो large caps में इतने नहीं present है. So it's a very diverse offering that you get when you combine large, mid, small. ठीक है? Next slide, we want to make the point कि एक sort of perception रहती है कि market leaders are only in large caps, but that's actually not true. If we look at mid and small, right, वो segment में भी काफी सारे market leaders हैं. So we have not named the companies, but जैसे in terms of batteries, tire manufacturers, the actual market leader is not in the large category, it is in the mid cap category. Similarly, pathology labs, Indian tech, there's a textile company also. So these are in the small caps. So it's important to note कि it's not कि all the market leaders are only large caps. There are many market leaders in the mid and small category, and इसमें what the beauty of it is कि they are market leaders and they also have a lot of growth potential still ahead of them despite being market leaders. So that makes a compelling case for investing in mid and small as well, because you are getting exposure to these good quality companies which generally have higher growth potential than large caps, right? So I'll just mention it again कि आपको अगर आप mid small में भी आप investment करेंगे तो आपको ऐसे कंपनीज मिलते हैं जो अपने सेक्टर या सेगमेंट में मार्केट लीडर्स हैं, और मोस्टली उनका ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल लार्ज कैप्स से भी ज्यादा है. So it's a very good set of companies that you get exposure to. अगर आप large, mid, small तीनों में exposure लेंगे तो आपको ये पूरा range of companies एक ही investment में मिलता है, right? That is the essence of multi-cap investing. Last slide की why should you have exposure to large, mid and small is that the winners keep changing. So किसी भी एक साल में it's usually difficult to predict कि अगले साल में mid अच्छा करेगा या small अच्छा करेगा या फिर से large अच्छा करेगा, right? It's difficult to tell in advance. And if you see in the table on the right, वहाँ पे भी हमें साफ दिखाई दे रहा है large caps for example. So we have data for 19 financial years. अब in 19 years में large caps have done the best 6 of the 19. They have done the worst 9 times, right? आप small cap में भी देखोगे they are either doing very well or they are either giving the highest of the 3 or the lowest of the 3. So there's quite a bit of volatility in which segment will do well at what time. It's very difficult to know in advance कि कौन सा large, mid या small कौन सा segment अच्छा करेगा. So that's why one solution is कि आप तीनों segments का exposure ले लो एक ही product में, so that you are diversified. एक shot में आपको तीनों segment का exposure मिलता है, and in a way diversification, because the year mid and small does not do well, large may be doing well, and vice versa. So because it's very difficult to know कि कौन सा segment अच्छा करेगा, multi cap investing solves that problem, क्योंकि आपको सारे segments का exposure एक ही product में मिल रहा है. So you do not now have to spend time and energy trying to guess कि अगले साल में कौन सा sector अच्छा करेगा. आपको तीनों sectors का exposure मिल रहा है एक ही product में. Okay, so now we have explained कि multi-cap, what is the concept of multi-cap investing, and why you should consider multi-cap investing. That is why you should have large, mid, small exposure together. Okay. Now we'll come to the main part of the presentation, which is ki what is unique about this product that we are offering, right? So this index fund is tracking the Nifty 500 multi-cap 50 25 25 index. So very big word, but very simple concept. तो एक एक करके हम proceed करेंगे. Nifty 500 means कि इस index में भी it will mirror the composition of Nifty 500. So जो भी 500 stocks Nifty 500 में है, they will also be present in this Nifty 500 multi-cap version, right? तो very simple, जो भी stocks Nifty 500 में है across large, mid, small, very broad exposure to the India economy, आपको वही 500 stock इस index में भी मिलेंगे. Okay, multi-cap, as we've just explained, because आपको large, mid, small एक ही product में मिल रहा है, with a certain weightage mechanism, that's why it is a multi-cap. ठीक है? And now we come to the most important part, which is the 50 25 25. तो इसका, it's very simple. What these numbers stand for is कि large caps, right? So सारे large caps का total weight will be 50%. All the mid caps, उनका total weight will be 25%, and all the small caps, उनका weight will also be 25%, right? And ये जो weightage है, right, 50 25 25, ये हर quarter में rebalance होता है. So अगर let's say एक quarter में large caps do better, तो फिर the fund manager will sell those and he will buy mid and small to ensure कि at each quarter end ये 50 25 25 का weight maintained है. So we'll come back to this point and the tax efficiency later, but अभी main idea is कि large caps का 50 total weight 50%, mid का 25 and small का 25. ठीक है? So how is this different from existing sort of products in the market? So see, now if you look at Nifty 500 for example, right? So इसमें क्या है कि your 100 large cap names are around 72% of the index weight. ठीक है? So while you are getting exposure to 500 stocks, clearly आपको चार्ट में दिख रहा है कि bulk of your returns and exposure is still in the large cap category, right? So agar if you are an investor who generally wants large cap exposure, that's fine, but what we feel or what we wanted to bring to the market is an alternative weighting mechanism. So इसमें क्या है कि अगर आपको large, mid, small तीनों का exposure चाहिए, but you would want more exposure to the mid and small compared to large, then this index is very interesting for you, because इस index में large cap का weight 50% है, normal Nifty 500 में 72-73% weight है, so almost 22% percentage points large cap की weight कम है इसमें, and in its place, right, दोनों mid और small caps के weight बड़े हैं. So mid cap का almost 18 से 25% weight बढ़ जाता है, and small cap का weight 10 to 25. So here it's a good time to just pause and understand what we are saying. In the Nifty 500 multi-cap 50 25 25 index, you are getting exposure to all the 500 stocks of Nifty 500. So large, mid, small, तीनों segments का exposure मिल रहा है, and in one product, because of this more balanced weightage, you are getting the relative stability and the less volatility of large caps. 50% weight उसमें है, and you are also getting the higher growth potential of mid and small cap in total 25 plus 25 50%. तो आपको एक ही प्रोडक्ट में sort of दोनों चीज मिल रहा है. You're getting that stability from large and growth potential from mid. So this is basically for investors who say कि I want exposure to the India story, the India growth story, but I also believe in the growth potential of mid and small. This is a very could be a very suitable product for them, because यहाँ पे आपको आपका mid and small का weight ज्यादा है, large cap का weight कम है. So अब हमको वो इंडेक्स का कॉन्सेप्ट समझ आ गया. वी कैन जस्ट गेट अ फील ऑफ व्हाट द इंडेक्स लुक्स लाइक. सो कुछ पॉइंट्स हमने ऑलरेडी कवर कर दिए हैं कि सेम स्टॉक्स एज द निफ्टी 500, so on and so forth. आपके लार्जेस्ट नेम्स आर सिमिलर, नो सरप्राइजेस, दे आर ऑल लार्ज कैप नेम्स, बट व्हाट यू विल नोटिस इज कि यहाँ पे वेट्स आर कंसिडरेबली लेस. तो जस्ट टेक HDFC बैंक और रिलायंस. नॉर्मल निफ्टी 500 में their weight would have been 8 to 10%. यहाँ पे उनका weight is less than 5. So why? Because large cap के weight कम है, mid small का weight ज्यादा है to maintain 50 25 25, right? So this is just to give you an idea. Valuations भी आप देख सकते हैं at the moment, because mid and small का weight ज्यादा है, the PE and PB is higher than large caps. वो भी हमको साफ दिखाई दे रहा है in the table on the left. Next is the comparative sector distribution. तो इसमें as we said कि small cap में small mid में generally sectors like capital goods, healthcare, chemicals उनका ज़्यादा exposure रहता है, and large caps में financials, oil and gas, IT रहता है. So you're seeing at the sector level इस index में capital goods, healthcare, chemicals का weight इन sectors का weight Nifty 500 से ज़्यादा है, and vice versa financial services, oil gas, FMCG इन sectors का weight Nifty 500 से कम है, right? Again, because this is because of mid small getting higher weight and large cap getting less weight. ठीक है, अब आते हैं to the returns section. So you can see here कि this is the performance of the multi-cap index versus 550. So 50 हमने ऐसे डाला to just give you a proxy, because 50 is most sort of popular index. आपको large cap के against भी थोड़ा benchmarking आप कर पाएंगे. So very clear from the chart and table that over the last 1, 3, 5, 10 years multi-cap index का performance काफी अच्छा रहा है. It has beaten both the 500 and the large cap index again. And I mean मैंने बहुत बार बोला है, but it same concept वही है, because large and mid का weight ज्यादा है, and because mid and small का weight ज्यादा है, and because those segments have done well recently, multi-cap has done better than 500. So it is possible obviously at some point mid small का performance खराब हो सकता है, it may not be as good as we've had over the last 2, 3, 4 years. उस kind of scenario में multi-cap may underperform 500, right? So we can see that very clearly here in this chart. So years where mid small का performance इतना अच्छा नहीं रहा है, you'll see the multi-cap index has underperformed, right? So जैसे 2008 global financial crisis में mid small का performance अच्छा नहीं रहा, तो multi-cap version was performing worse than Nifty 500. Similarly जब COVID में market गिरा था, same story कि multi-cap index fell more than 500. But since then, because recovery इतनी strong रहा है, and mid small का performance अच्छा रहा है, by and large multi-cap over the last 3-4 years has been doing much better than 500. So वही है that the idea is not to again guess कि कौन सा segment कब अच्छा करेगा. Idea is that you are getting balanced exposure through all three segments in a single product, and if you want that higher exposure to growth to mid and small, then this multi-cap 50 25 25 it could be suitable for you. ठीक है, लास्ट स्लाइड ऑन रिटर्न्स इज द रोलिंग रिटर्न्स. तो इसमें भी हम देख सकते हैं कि ऑन एवरेज, राइट, ऑन अ रोलिंग रिटर्न बेसिस मल्टी कैप इंडेक्स हैज डन बेटर देन 500. So that means कि in any 3-year period from 2005 till now, on average multi-cap index has given you 14% return CAGR over those 3 years compared to 12.6 over the Nifty 500. So ye by and large, because again of that growth potential of mid and small, the returns मल्टीकैप के रोलिंग रिटर्न्स निफ्टी 500 से ज्यादा अच्छा रहे हैं. बट एक चीज आपको याद रखना है कि दोज हायर रिटर्न्स हैव कम विद हायर वॉलेटिलिटी एज वेल. तो बीच वाले कॉलम में अगर आप देखेंगे, सेम 3 ईयर पीरियड में 9 मल्टी कैप का स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन 9.3% रहा है, एंड बट 500 का 7.8% है. सो दैट मीन्स कि आपको लाइक ऑन एवरेज हायर रिटर्न मिला है, बट इट हैज ऑल्सो कम विथ हायर रिस्क. सो दैट्स वाई दिस इज एन इम्पोर्टेंट स्लाइड एंड पॉइंट टू मेक कि बिकॉज मिड स्मॉल का वेट ज्यादा है, वॉलेटिलिटी भी ज्यादा रहा है. So this, please, ensure that you have that higher risk tolerance before, considering to invest in this product, right? So that is the main conclusion from the slide कि returns ज़्यादा अच्छा रहे हैं, but that has come with higher volatility. So आप just as per your own risk tolerance उसी हिसाब से इस product में allocation कीजिए. Okay, so that's basically all the main content. I'll just summarize again what are the main reasons to invest in this HDFC Nifty 500 Multicap 50 25 25 index fund. So first reason is कि participate in the India growth story. So because आप 500 stocks का exposure ले रहे हो, it's a very broad index and you are getting exposure to both large, mid and small companies. So एक साथ all these companies across different sectors, different segments आपको एक ही product में मिल रहा है to participate in the overall growth. Second is diversification across market caps. So same point, because it's difficult to know कि किसी एक साल में large चलेगा या mid या small, आप तीनों में diversify कर लीजिए, so that then you are freed from the tension कि कौन सा segment कब अच्छा करेगा. And अगर एक साल में mid small don't do well, large will be doing better and vice versa. So आपको एक shot में तीनों segment का exposure मिल रहा है and also your investment is being diversified. ठीक है. Third point is important. We'll spend a little bit of time on this. So we are saying it is a convenient and tax efficient way to maintain large, mid, small allocation. So इसका क्या मतलब है? Basically, as you know that the index weights to large, mid, small category will be reset 50, 25, 25 at the end of each quarter, right? So because इसमें the portfolio, the fund manager is doing the rebalancing, there is no tax liability for the investor or the fund itself, right? So इसका what is the advantage कि मान लो आपने अलग से Nifty 100, Midcap 150 and Small Cap 250 funds लिए थे, right? And आपने same 50 25 25 allocation में लिया था. What will happen is कि at the end of 1 year those weights will change, right? Suppose वो 60 20 20 हो गया. So then आपको if you do not invest in this product and you want 50 25 25, आपको खुद से rebalance करना पड़ेगा. मतलब आप large cap बेचोगे और mid small खरीदोगे, right? So this is not easy for everyone to do. So you are getting convenience by investing in this product. But more importantly, जब आप अपने funds को बेचोगे to do the rebalancing, आपको tax लगेगा, right? LTCG या STCG लगेगा, right? But because of this is being done at the mutual fund level, right? जब fund manager stocks को बेच रहे हैं और खरीद रहे हैं, तब उनको कोई टैक्स नहीं लग रहा है इस rebalancing पे. So as an investor, only when you redeem this fund, at the end of 5 years, 10 years, जो भी आपका investment horizon है, उस टाइम का जो भी LTCG है और या STCG अगर आपने जल्दी withdraw किया, आपको देना होगा. But you can maintain this allocation of 50 25 25 for the long term in a very tax efficient manner, because जो भी quarterly rebalancing हो रहा है उस पे ना तो फंड और ना ही इन्वेस्टर टैक्स देंगे. इन्वेस्टर तभी टैक्स देगा जब एंड में रिडीम करेंगे. बट ऑल द रीबैलेंसिंग्स, ऑल द मेंटेनेंस ऑफ 50 25 25 is going to be no tax. So hence its exposure to this product is tax efficient way to maintain the allocation for the long term. ठीक है। फोर्थ पॉइंट इज कि अभी द इंडेक्स हैज more exposure to mid and small than Nifty 500. So again, for investors who have little bit higher risk tolerance, they believe in the growth potential of mid and small. So then the multi-cap version could be suitable for them. And lastly, lower cost. So generally, compared to other funds in the market, because this is a passive product, generally expenses tend to be on the lower side. So obviously ये investors के लिए beneficial होता है, because lesser expense means sort of higher post expense returns, all else equal. So that's one advantage of this kind of fund, that generally cost structure is on the lower side, right? So these are the main reasons to invest in the ongoing NFO. NFO के dates, it started on the 6th, अभी 20th, which is next Tuesday, or rather this coming Tuesday को बंद होगा. So if you are wanting to subscribe, then please do so before the 20th. ठीक है. बाकी slides are more just about HDFC AMC, our track record in passes. So I'll just go through them very quickly so that we can just do the Q&A. Yes, Diwakar ji. So if you can do.
Thank you, Shikhar. Thank you for sharing such a great insight. So I think you have got most of the point which was required. There'll be few questions which customer. So if anyone, all the participants, if you have any questions, please write it in the chat box. We'll take the question from there. So we'll be taking questions from YouTube as well as from the go to Shikhar. So
Sure.
we start getting questions. So I'll take the question one by one. So a small question, which is like, what would be the expense of this particular mutual fund? So if you can put some light on that as well.
Okay, so the indicative expense, because it will only be finalized, NFO के बाद ही वो finalize होगा, but indicative expense ratio for the direct plan will be 0.3% plus applicable GST. So उसके range में ही होगा is the expectation.
Great. Shikhar, one thing which you have already told us, like यहाँ पे आपने दिखाया था कि जो sector level पे जो भी हमारा weightage है. Yes. So over here, if we'll see the weightage of IT, if we'll see the weightage of pharma. So from here, because normally when a few years back people were saying कि इनका valuation बहुत ज़्यादा है, and these are the sectors wherein like the performance will not be good or will be good. So that was the question which everybody was asking. Now market is all time high. So अभी क्या लगता है यहाँ से ये सब sectors जो हैं इनका वैल्यूएशन कैसा है, एंड आगे इसमें हम क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन रख सकते हैं?
So see, I think one conclusion we can make is that, see, because this index, right, ये multi-cap index ये इतना, it's diversified across so many sectors, right? So it's like you don't have to be too concerned with एक individual sector में क्या होगा, because it is so diversified कि that one sector will not be driving the returns completely. So here, because it is diversified across sectors, across large, mid, small, the message is more that investors ko, if they are looking at a genuinely long-term view, then this is a very a good product to also be doing SIPM, because sometimes we get queries ki acha, which sector is doing well, this index has more weight to some sectors which are doing well or not well, or abhi mid small ka kya outlook hai. So the point is actually that this product is kind of freeing you from all those questions, because अगर आप इसमें SIP करोगे over the long term, mid small sectors ये cycles चलते रहेंगे. But in the long term, as long as India and the Indian economy does well, market should also grow, hopefully in line with nominal GDP. And a product like this, which is abroad, giving you large, mid, small exposure, giving you exposure to a variety of sectors, over time, all these छोटा छोटा साइकिल जो होते हैं बीच में कि लार्ज अच्छा कर रहा है, मिड अच्छा कर रहा है, अब आईटी अच्छा कर रहा है, फिर केमिकल्स लैग कर रहा है, all this will even out. So that's the core message, is कि the product is designed to be simple. It's not about trying to second guess कि अभी कौन सा sector अच्छा करेगा, mid करेगा या small. It's about getting that broad based exposure and staying invested for the long term.
Okay, great. So there's another question which is like कि similar category में there are other AMCs who are coming up with similar fund. So what is the unique feature in this particular scheme? What we are talking about?
So if you're talking about exactly on this index, Nifty 500 Multicap 50 25 25, to the best of my knowledge, हमारा NFO market में second रहा है, right? हमारे पहले एक और AMC ने NFO किया था. It's on the same index. So as such, there is no differentiation in terms of the underlying index. Then the differentiation comes more, in the fact that we have been doing passives for over 20 years. हमारा बहुत experience है. We have experience across all the different categories, so on and so forth. So market cap based, sector, smart beta, and because of this 20 years of experience, our processes are also much more robust and sound. So underlying index same hai, but then at the end of the day, because apne processes are quite robust, that helps in giving a low tracking error, tracking difference. So that's what we hope investors will recognize and sort of uh, consider our product as well.
Okay. Shikhar, one more thing, like if you can go to one of the page जहाँ पे जो basic information, because maximum query were like that कि minimum amount, what would be the SIP amount? Do we have that? Yeah. So
Yes.
So if you can just go through the same, because many questions are on the same line.
ठीक है. Okay, so summary is simple कि इसमें no entry, no exit load, right? So that's helpful for investors. Second is कि आपका minimum investment amount is rupees, so 100 रुपए है. So that means कि you can start with a very small amount and then invest any larger amount thereafter. Even so, an NFO के टाइम आप या तो लमसम डाल सकते हो, आप SIP भी NFO के टाइम पे शुरू कर सकते हो. So that option is up for the investor. And lastly, जैसे मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले मेंशन किया था, the tentative expense ratio for direct plan will be around 30 bips, 0.3% plus the applicable GST. So I think those are the hopefully main. हाँ जी.
Correct. And there is no maximum capping in any of the mutual fund. So minimum amount would be there, but no maximum thing. So any investor who want to invest any amount, they can invest. There is no upper capping. Yeah. And I'll take few more questions, Shikhar. Like,
Sure.
Give me a moment. I'll just check the question in YouTube as well if there is any.
हाँ जी.
Yeah, so there is a question like, will the fund invest in all 500 companies or on selective basis? Like, कुछ company में हम करेंगे, कुछ में नहीं करेंगे. So that was the question from one of the participant.
हाँ जी. So answer is कि yes, this index fund will be investing in all the 500 stocks. So जिनका large weight है, जिनका small weight है, सारे stocks में investment होगा.
Great. So Shikhar, I believe we have covered most of the questions. Some were like here and there. And Shikhar, one last question I'll take. What is your expectation from this fund? So normally at the end, the important question जो रहता है कि हम क्या expect कर रहे हैं इस particular investment से. So that is the question which is there.
So again, see, we should not give short-term predictions कि अभी ऐसे होगा वैसा होगा and all. But see, because idea is कि again you are getting exposure to the broad Indian economy through this product. So we've seen historically जब economy का nominal GDP is going up, तो by and large market का return भी similar level रहता है. So right now, last few years, we've been having nominal GDP growth of around 10 to 15%. And if that sustains in the long term, then that's also an indicative range, for the returns of this product. So obviously, हर साल में fluctuation आएगा. no one can say कि okay अगले साल में we think it will go up 20, it will go down. It's very difficult to say. But long term के लिए अगर आप invest रहेंगे तो then you should see a return in line, hopefully with nominal GDP, which is around 10 to 15% is what one can say conservatively.
Okay, great. And what would be the chances like when the expenses would be lower? So there is a question about expense. What would be the chances when expense will go down?
So अभी तो मतलब product launch भी नहीं हुआ है. So I think once it will first be finalized post the NFO stage, and उसके बाद depending on market conditions, if there's a need to reduce it could be reduced or increased in the future. But अभी तो first to even fix it at the level we need to see the post the NFO a call will be taken. So it would be difficult to comment कि अब उसके बाद भी क्या changes होंगे. पहले तो initial expense तो हमें fix करना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद देखी जाएगी.
Correct. So I think we have taken all the questions. So I request all the participants kindly get in touch with your relationship manager. Definitely, they have all the option to share with you. So yes, NFO is live and it'll be ending on 20th of August. So if you go to our portal, that is HDFC Securities portal, there is one option that is NFO. So if you go there, there'll be like all the NFOs which are currently going on. You can go there, and from there you'll be able to see HDFC Nifty500 Multicap 50 25 index fund, and you can select that and you can purchase it from there. That is one option. You can get in touch with your relationship manager also, जो आपको help करेंगे ये particular NFO buy करने में. And उसके अलावा भी अगर आपकी कोई query रहती है, if there be any further question जो आपको पूछना है, so definitely they are the one who can help you. So I think शिखर ने सारी चीजें काफी अच्छे से यहाँ पे summarize की हैं, काफी अच्छे से सारा हमें डिटेल में बताया है. I believe all the participants are very clear about this particular NFO which is on. I request you to just go through the same and definitely participate in this, keeping everything in mind, like what would be the weightage. Weightage is very important because that is the unique thing over here, because 500 companies जो हैं वहाँ पे they'll maintain the weightage 50 25 25, and that's how the exposure in mid and small would be high, which will definitely help us to like generate more alpha. And at the same time, yes, volatility would be there because the weightage would be high. So Shikhar, thank you for taking out the time and sharing a great insight. And thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Thank you everyone. Have a great time.
Thank you. And you can let your RMs know if you have any other questions. We'll try and answer them. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.